Welcome to Make Sylacauga Healthy Again. I'm your host, Dr. Jonathan Douglas of Broadway Spinal Care. Some weeks at our clinic have themes. For some reason this week the theme has been ADHD. I don't know if it's been in the news. I really haven't seen it, but people are talking about what can I do to get my child to concentrate better at school, listen to me better, all the above. So one thing I'm going to tell you is sports is a great way to do it. If you wear them out, their brain works better. I guarantee. A lot of kids have ADHD, do not do enough exercise. But this is really the definitive link between food and ADHD. And if you don't know about food and ADHD, you're missing the bus on this one. Artificial colors and dyes, they can't have any of that. Sugar, refined carbs, they cannot have any of that. Processed foods, most kids eat about 70 or 80% processed foods. They cannot eat that, especially if you have a brain that works differently. Caffeine, sugary drinks, we see kids with all kinds of blue caffeine drinks in the office. We talk about it all day long. You cannot have stuff like that. Food additives, so there's so many different things. We could do a whole show on food additives. So what do we have to do? We have to get kids to eat things that have omega-3s in them, and most kids don't get any omega-3s. That is what feeds your brain. So we've got high-fat fish is an amazing way to get it. Whole foods. A lot of kids have not even seen a whole food, don't even know what it is. So if we can get them eating those kind of things, a lot more protein, because it takes a long time for protein to turn into sugar in your body. And it makes your brain work better if your brain works too fast. They've got to stay hydrated with things that aren't blue or pink. I don't care if it's supposed to be a sports drink. That stuff is not good for you. It does not make your brain work correctly. And then your gut is so important in relation to how you absorb nutrition. And if you've never talked about probiotics, then you need to look at that for kids with ADHD. They do so much better with that. But one thing about probiotics is you really don't, I guess it wouldn't hurt to have them, but you really don't need as many probiotics if you eat actual whole foods, because you get a lot of those good healthy bacteria coming from that. So what kind of resources do we have in the area for ADHD? There's one amazing resource in Birmingham, and we've got a second graphic for that, and it's Snyder Therapy. This would surprise you, but we've been doing this for 25 years and been around ADHD. Kids who have attention problems typically have vision problems. So it's hard for them to describe, but they'll be in class and they'll need to read something off the board and they'll actually act distracting. They'll get anxious because they know they cannot do that. They could be dyslexic, they could have focusing issues, they could have double vision, they just don't know how to explain it. And so they will act up because it's easier than trying to do the thing and fail in front of others. But there's so much that can be done with vision therapy. So we have this amazing resource in Birmingham, Snyder Therapy. We work with them all the time. ADHD is amazingly helped by vision therapy. There's behavior therapy, which they do also, and lots of other people do. There's parent training, there's academic support, there's lots of tutoring available. The lifestyle nutrition is what Tara and I work with ADHD kids on so much. Counseling and emotional support for families, there's some of that too. The Autism Initiative in Sylacauga overlaps somewhat with this. And then there is medication. I'd say that's the last resort, because if you're medicating a child who has ADHD and you haven't looked at vision and you haven't looked at nutrition, then you're just putting a Band-Aid on this situation. So why has it been in the news so much lately? I don't know. I have parents asking me about it. These are the things I know to do. If I had a child who had ADHD, I would immediately make an appointment with Snyder. I'd let them check out, make sure it's not vision. If it's not vision and they don't have any of those kind of things that could help with any kind of therapy, then we've really got to start looking at nutrition. Has there been a concussion in the past? Are there reading issues you might not know about? All those things can make such a difference in the life of a child who has ADHD. Hope that helps. We'll see you soon.